and welcome back. So yeah, no, I'm not Lobel. I know, Lobel is still busy. I am a guest host, as you will probably have seen me before. If you're not new to the podcast, if you are new to the podcast, then hello. I am an occasional guest host for Lobel, and I'm known as Up for the Challenge. I do have my own podcast, which is called the It's Good to Talk podcast, and me and Lobel appear on each other's podcast relatively frequently. We do chat quite a lot in terms of mental health personally and as friends and everything like that. So that's why it's easier for us to kind of appear for each other and for me to come on here as well. But yeah, unfortunately, Lobel is still very, very busy at work. And so we don't want the channel to go idle. So I'm coming on to say hi. So today, I just want to talk today, not an overly long podcast. It is just myself. It's just a solo for you. But I just want to talk about the importance of passion. Now, I don't mean, I'm not talking 50 Shades of Grey, okay? When I say passion, what I mean is having a passion for something in your life. Now, that can be sport, that can be a TV show, that can be martial arts, that can be running, that can be poetry, chess, whatever it is. Having a passion can be so important. And with that comes the fact that we shouldn't then drag down other people or mock other people, you know, anything like that for having that passion. Now, what I mean by this is there are plenty of people on, say, let's assume it as the two sites, which most people will probably think of as the kind of nerds and jocks from university and from school and things like that. So you'll find a lot of the times that people that do sport will look down on maybe science fiction or people that are into that kind of stuff, and the vice versa. People into that type of stuff that, you know, may look down on the other side. But the sheer fact is, you're both geeks. You're both passionate about something massively. You geek out about whatever it is, whether it's football, cricket, American football, tennis, basketball, swimming, whatever it is. Okay, you're still geeking out about it. You still have a passion. And the other side, if maybe you're into sci-fi, maybe you're into Marvel, DC, you're into Star Trek and Star Wars. Again, there's passion there. And it's not limited to that, like I said, chess or whatever you have passion for. There's no reason to look down another person. You have a lot more in common with each other than you realise, because that passion is so important to life. Because otherwise, what we do is we go through life skipping from one thing to the next. Skipping from, well, I'm working here, I've got someone to do this. Okay, let's do this now. And let's do that now. There's no backing to your life, and you wander. And that's problematic because it can mean that you can feel very detached and very lonely at parts in your life. Because when you have a community, whatever form that takes, there's something to fall back on. If you're going through issues in your life, but you're part of the chess community, the Star Trek community, the football community, the tennis community, whatever, there are other people there. There's something you can go and do, something you can go and talk about. And this is beyond just friendship. Because, of course, friendship, I've talked about on here before. Lobel's talked with me about on both of our podcasts about before. Friendship is, of course, very important. But the passion is what can be so helpful because it makes you feel connected. And it may be that you have friends that don't have that same passion. And so you can still feel disconnected even with some friends. But if you're part of a wider community, because you've got that strong passion for whatever it is, that can be so helpful to you because you feel truly part of something. You can have friendship groups, and that's amazing, and that's so helpful. And that's definitely something, that's a great support group. But when you're feeling disconnected for whatever reason, maybe, you know, work has really got to you and there's issues with all that and you're feeling very disconnected, this can help. Because you can be like, nobody gets it, but oh wait, I can go and just hang out with those people that, you know, understand the kind of things that I'm into and get my passion. How many of us went for whatever passion we may have when we were children? and there's built nostalgia, or there's built family ties. We may feel closer with family. We may feel closer with our nostalgic selves through whatever it is. We may have enjoyed watching a TV program with our parents, with our sibling. We may have enjoyed going and playing a sport with the same. And so having that to fall back on when we feel so lonely, when we feel so disconnected from the rest of society in some way, can be so helpful to us. And I think it's so important for us to recognize that putting each other down for that, you're attacking someone's backup, their mental backup. Because you can throw so many things at so many people, whether they're able to take it or not. But a lot of the time it's because they have that mental backup. They have somewhere to go in their head. Why attack that? Why attack the thing that they can always rely on to keep them going? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about quote unquote banter. I'm English. We have banter. Okay. You kind of taking the mick, but it's in a jovial way. It's in a kind of, blah, 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 but we're still mates. We still understand. We still get it. There's that way, which can be recognized. And if you're friends and if you're, in that kind of community, then you understand that. That's not an attack. But there's so many times where we just attack a part of community. We do it online. Go and have a look at the YouTube comments or something. There'll be people attacking each other for liking how somebody's cooked something. Why? We do this so often when that could be someone's passion. Food could have got someone out of a horrible situation. We don't know what that person's background is, why they started cooking. They may have... Look at Gordon Ramsay. A lot of it is because he got injured playing football, and it was to help him get out of where he was. There's so many things that can be behind a passion. It could be the way that we regulate ourselves. It could be our connection to the past and to our friends and family. There's no reason to drag each other down for it in any way whatsoever. If anything, we should be lifting each other up. And this is why gatekeeping in any community becomes problematic. It should be that if somebody asks you a question about your passion, you should value that. Bring them in. You may have just found someone else for the community. It may be that whenever anybody has talked about the community to them before, talked about Star Wars, I don't know about that, Star Wars, Star Trek, or, American football or real football. Whatever it is. I know that was gatekeeping, you know what I mean. But whenever somebody's talked to them about that before, that people have just been standoffish and, you don't really want to know. Whereas actually if you explain to them, oh, well, look, this is basically what this is, and actually this has got a lot to do with a similar thing here. Oh, well, hell, okay. You know what, I might be into this. Not as, not in the same level as you, because obviously there's a deeper connection, but they may be like, you know what, it's kind of cool. Suddenly that person that you never thought was sporty, yeah, but they enjoy a bit of kick around because, it's something for them to do. They wanted to get out and actually be active a bit more. So on a Sunday, they come along, they play some five-a-side with you. Now, they're not avid football fans, but it's a bit of a laugh. They get to see their mates more and have a drink afterwards. Vice versa. Could be someone into American football, proper, jock, quarterback in high school type thing. But actually, when you explain it, you know what, I quite like this Batman guy. Fucking, yeah, you know what, I think, yeah, I like his style. What kind of comics, bloody hell, he's got those villains. Nice. And he might read a couple of comics. Or maybe watch a couple of films. Not going to be watching every film ever made about Batman. Not going to be reading every comic. But suddenly, wait, there's a Batman versus Predator. Fucking give me that one. Suddenly, they're into it a little bit. Opening up that passion, indulging in each other's passion, seeing that passion is important, is so important. It really should be something that we delve into for each other, that we don't mock in each other, and that we hold to. Finding that passion, whatever it is so important. Maybe you want to cook. Find a cookbook and you go for it. Maybe you're into snooker. Hell, I played snooker a lot when I was a kid. Definitely a passion of mine when I was younger. Maybe you want to run more. Maybe you want to get into comics. Maybe you're just not sure. That's cool. You can still find your passion. But passion is so important. And I think we need to realize that of each other. And that our passions matter. No matter what they are, they matter. Because they're the thing that backs up our mentality. They back up our thoughts. They back up who we are. That can be so important at the end of the day. I think I've had my rant. I think I've said my piece. But yeah, I think passion is something that we don't talk about enough. We talk about it, we separate it a lot. We talk about, Star Trek community, sci-fi. We talk about sport and, MMA or whatever. Why aren't we all talking together? There's plenty of people that overlap. Passion is the same, no matter who it's for. It matters at the same level for everyone because the same kind of connections are there. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. Hopefully we'll have Lobel back very, very soon. If not, you may find me, you may find someone else, you may find a different interaction. I don't know. But I hope you've enjoyed that. If you are new, go and check out some of the other podcasts that have Lobel in. Go and check out what he's all about. Go and check out my podcast as well. I mean, in the description of it. Go and check that out. Maybe hit a subscribe. Maybe comment. Maybe hit a like. Whatever you need to do, want to do. And hope to see you back here next time. But thanks for coming along, and we'll see you later.